Hi, this is Mad Cat, the angry egalitarian that discusses this and that. Today is part 2 of our gendered privilege in video games, a video response to 25 invisible, why do I keep trying to say indivisible? Invisible benefits of gaming while male. This is kind of a last minute, so I don't have a witty quote. Let me think of one real quick. But let's let silence be my quote. Just insert something. I kind of just decided to do this last minute. It's like 3 a.m. right now. But I was doing some research on this because someone's been bothering me about this, and it's actually been discussed by a few people that there's a repeat of points for this, that we have 25, but they seem to be kind of repeating themselves. So it was just bothering me, and I was watching some other videos discuss it, and I don't know. I just kind of felt in the need to do it to try to narrow down the list to see what points are actually being made and how many of them are being repeated. So I'm going to try to keep this video short, so that means that it's probably going to be 3 hours long. But I'm just going to list the points, the actual points that are made, and how many of the points made in the video correspond to these specific ones, narrowing down the list to the raw points themselves. I won't be discussing these points specifically, or at least I'll try not to, but I might give a brief synopsis on them. Oh, and I probably won't get angry on this since it's so early in the morning. I don't want to wake anyone up. I probably shouldn't be doing this anyways. So, number 1, ignorance of female harassment. This is represented by number 1. Point number 2, demographics set for males. That's kind of self-explanatory there that, video games, for the most part, were designed for males and cater to males, but that has changed in the modern age where it's now catered to both, as I discussed in my last video. But that's represented by points 2, 6, 14, 15, and 16. Issues revealing gender. So whenever a girl reveals her gender in game or an online gaming community, there's harassment that follows. Most of it is bullshit, as I discussed in my last video, but this is represented by points 3, 5, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Yeah, there's a lot just for that one point. It's interesting if you actually look at all of those numbers. As it gets to the end, it starts specifying specific instances. And if you want to have a video that discusses all of those various points, that's all well and fine. But you're trying to make like a list of the different things they have, and then you're trying to nitpick to like the minor detail of this just to bolster your numbers. You've already stated that women who reveal themselves get harassed. You don't need to go into specific points. Save that for another video. I mean, it's bullshit, but still. Proving skill on gender, number 4. That's technically part of 3 because it's basically a negative consequence of revealing your gender. But I decided to give them a point because it's still different enough of an issue for it to be its own point. And that's going to be points 4, 9, and 10. So yeah, like the first 4 points of this video were individual points, but then the majority of the points in these videos were 2, 3, and 4. The rest of the points only had 1 point represented. Sexually assaulted at conventions. that's not really a gaming issue. I mean, unless you're including Comic-Con and all the different conventions, and there are so many conventions out there that gaming is not the only one. So this is not really a result of male gaming privilege. So I technically leave that point out. Okay, an individual representing a whole. Well, technically I'm representing all of gaming, all the gamers out there who think that this is bullshit. Um, Now you can choose not to acknowledge my um, representation of that, and that's all well and fine, but there's really nothing wrong with this. Okay, questions about buying games in stores. I've never seen this. I've never heard anyone talk about this. I question if it's actually true or not. Discussing sexism. Well, this is not really a gaming point either. This seems to be more of, if women discuss it, they're immediately told that they have some sort of political agenda for this, and this is for everything. It doesn't discuss specifically for video games. So while it is a separate point, oh, by the way, discussing sexual assault at convention, 7, an individual representing the whole, 8, questioning about buying in stores was 13, discussing sexism, 14. I mean, that's not even really part of this discussion, because it's talking about a bigger problem that feminists feel there is that doesn't actually exist. Go on Tumblr. Women still have a lot more agency in talking about sexism than males do, because every time a male does, it's immediately regarded as, oh, well, your opinion doesn't matter. You should go die. And number 9 is technically part of 8, but it does discuss gaming, that because he's a white man, well, he's saying that because he's a male, his voice is going to carry more weight. I'm going to include it in the gaming, but it's barely in there. It's almost part of 9, in all honesty. Part of 8, actually. So while 9 points are discussed, only 7 of them relate to gaming. So I've eliminated your list down to 7 supposed privileges that males have in gaming. 7. I'll read those 7 again, just in case you forget. Ignorance of female harassment, demographics set for males, issues revealing gender, proving skill based on gender, sexually assaulted at, oh wait, I skipped that one. An individual representing the whole, questions about buying in stores, and women have no voice in gaming. 7 points. So I actually did the calculations for 9. So if we just look at the 9 points that I did, that's a reduction of 64%. Let me do 72%. So the 7 points, I've reduced your list by 72%. That's really sad. So, and what this demonstrates is that this list was bolstered. Most likely to say, well, let's get 25 males together to read this off. Oh, we only have 7 actual points to discuss. Well, let's go ahead and, extend it further. Well, we really hammered point number 3 to death. We've only come up with 23. We need 2 more. Oh, let's talk about sexual assault at conventions. Well, that doesn't really have much to do with gaming. Oh, but we can just go ahead and lump it in together. No one's going to really question it. Well, what about the last one? Well, how about when women discuss sexism as a whole? Oh, well, okay, I guess. I mean, that really isn't technically part of gaming either. Well, again, no one's going to question us. Just go ahead and put it in there. No one will notice. And you've got 7 points. And there's probably smarter people out there than me that will probably figure this out too. I mean, face it, I'm small potatoes at this point, but yeah, I guess there's really nothing more to say on that. So, in closing, you're not fooling anyone. Trying to make a bigger list to make yourself sound more important, to try to have more of an impact, rather than have 7 males read off a list, you have 25 males, just to try to be more official, to have more of an impact, and it only makes you look stupid. I'm sorry, but you are stupid. You're flat out stupid, and if I can see through it, everyone else sees through it. This is Mad Cat signing off.